Good morning. It is Monday, March 23rd, 2026, and that means two things. I am genuinely sorry for confusing Racine, Wisconsin with Racine, California last week. That's just a product of me being more familiar with wine than with U.S. geography overall. I'll do better. I'll double check things more often. That's all I can say about that. What I can also say that is it is time for the lighting bulletin, the best source of lighting industry news, bar none. And let's get into it because Cree Lighting is only going to be laying off the manufacturing staff at their Racine, Wisconsin location. The 172 job losses that have previously been reported will proceed, but that space will still be operational for other departments. Cree made a point of clarifying that specifically. Provost and Pritchard, a civil engineering firm, has bought Pizzoni Engineering. They're a Modesto area lighting and controls company. That deal closed for an undisclosed sum. We have a new share buyback plan at FW Thorpe, with 500,000 shares being purchased at 255 pence apiece. Energous is now at risk of being delisted from the NASDAQ. They have 180 days to reach 10 days of being worth more than $1 per share. Vantage Electrical Group has celebrated their 30th year in business. That's cool. The IF design winners have been named. Signify did dominate the lighting categories for that. The Pulse of Lighting survey is now open with Q1 feedback forms open until the 25th. In People News, Amber Headley is now the Regional VP of Sales for MaxLight. Joe Melchiors is leaving Cooper. Leah Broussard has won the DOE Distinguished Mentor Award for Workforce Deployment. Ken Savage will be managing sales for BC projects at Nedco. We have two new VPs at Graybar. Brad Look has been named president of Gascan. You can also follow this page, the lighting bulletin on LinkedIn, to follow the lighting industry link blog. This is an old school recommended reading blog. You can get that every Thursday. The National Association of Manufacturers survey says that we're in a land of contrasts. Challenges do exist, but optimism is up. And this finding is being published because it's supposed to be helpful. The United States Postal Service is calling for more funding. They genuinely need federal support in order to prevent a complete collapse of service for all Americans. All of them. The United States Postal Service is the only shipping service that serves all Americans. And if they don't get money, they won't do that next year. That's how it works. Changes in U.S. Transportation Department rules will prevent qualified professionals from working as truckers as of next year. 200,000 immigrant truckers will lose their licenses quite soon for no reason that is particularly clear. The Securities and Exchange Commission may be changing reporting requirements. This proposal will allow publicly traded companies to cut their transparency requirements in half, only offering semi-yearly reports as opposed to quarterly. The U.S. DOE is funding new rare earths processing with $500 million in grants for manufacturing and recycling. GSTAD is changing its name. This is part of a very recondite, Baroque three-party deal, but the PE firm is now operating in business as Illumisoft Lighting Corporation. Lightingguide.org is a new website that publishes a new lighting design guide. Their new site has some very useful, very basic explainers. I like that. A group of ex-employees of Cree Lighting have launched 2 lawsuits against Cree Lighting. The two suits complain in different ways that their furlough strategy from last year was a gambit to avoid rules for layoffs. On the tariff tracker, wholesale prices overall were up 3.4% in February. Indonesia has signed a new trade agreement with the U.S. on critical minerals. A Chinese trade rep has condemned the U.S. trade policies to the trade secretary's face. Like, literally, he just said, like, "Hey, man, you're doing this bad and wrong." Renegotiations on the USMCA have begun. We'll see how that goes. And if you're looking to run for the governor of your particular state, consider suing the federal government over illegal tariffs. In events news, the NLB have announced the Lighting Forum video series for the year. The full schedule for Leducation has been posted. All sessions are now available. Register if you feel like it. You can also register for the Hong Kong International Light Fair. That's going to be going ahead in April. We have two new IES webinars. On March 26th, we have a new tool for projecting long-term LED chromaticity stability. And on the 28th, you can tune in to the art and science behind beautiful kitchens, evidence-based lighting that performs in your kitchen. In lighting controls news, Wi-Fi occupancy sensor systems. Fuck. 1, 2, 4. In smart buildings, we have a possibility that Wi-Fi occupancy sensor systems could be used to discern individual traits. These are speculations from an MIT grad cybersecurity expert, but he published these on Medium, not like an actual academic publication, so who knows? The city of Delhi in India has added smart functions to 300,000 street lamps as part of a 3-year plan in 6 districts of the city. Pharos is adding Dali controls to the Arcusius Fortress. This is a 13th century castle in Oslo. And Edge AI is shifting processor loads in IoT systems. This might be able to balance high demand queries in the IoT. Who knows? In research and development, Caliper has a new report on radiometric testing for UV disinfection projects. Their study considers in-use upper air disinfection systems and finds that there's still considerable variation, not just in intensity, but spectra. And maybe things should be better. Maybe letting manufacturers and specifiers should do good at this, especially in surgical wards. We have a new targeting and for multi-lamp, multi-CCT lighting systems. This is a study from the Technical University of Darmstadt that looks into viewer preference for color rendering that could turn into something new. And the University of Saskatchewan has secured new funding from the egg producers of Saskatchewan to develop chicken-centric lighting. Actually, that's probably a misnomer. It's probably more like egg harvester-centric lighting. It's about improving output. On the dark side of things, actinic keratosis, which is a specific kind of skin condition that can lead to skin cancer, has been linked with circadian disruption. We have a discussion of the hazards of deep ocean rare earth mines. Transport Canada surveys. Transport Canada is surveying drivers on headlight discomfort glare and what that means to them. SpaceX is scaling back the start of their space junk plan. Not all of it. They're still going to launch their 1,000,000 satellites, but they're going to do it slowly, so we don't notice that so much. Also, we have a study that shows that satellites remain bad for your sleep even if you're not looking at them. Data center construction is beating out new office spending if you're paying attention to how real estate development is going. CSC LED has a new report on amber optics. It seems promising, but they're a single source and they are for profit, and so I can't say that they sponsor me to say that. Allen has been linked with the activity of aquatic parasites. Kalkopen and Gezoz parks in Austria have been certified by the Dark Sky International. Maine's state lighting law will be coming into effect on October 1st. Ohio has passed a data center study commission bill to determine if maybe light pollution is bad. Oman has signed a cooperation deal for astronomical observatories. The Ecuadorian government has breached a court order on oil production facility pollution bans, including light pollution. The U.S. Department of Homeland Security's border contracts are now under scrutiny, including the ones that will be adding lighting to the border right now. Residents of West Yorkshire in the UK are objecting to late night pizza. Yeah, there's a chain of pizza places that wants to be open till 5 a.m. and locals are like, that would be bad. And I just gotta say, as a guy who lives in a neighborhood, a city that supports pizza places that are open till 4 a.m., you'll be fine. It's not the worst thing to worry about. Doylestown, Pennsylvania has drafted a dark sky ordinance. Westmont, Illinois has launched a new dark sky lighting grant program. Lights Out Chicago is on till June. Gillingham in the UK has pledged a new program for butterfly safety. York has joined the EU's Art of Darkness project. The European Space Organization is offering tours of observatories in Chile, and advocates are asking for lights out for migration season in Calgary, as well as Atlantic Beach, Florida. In horticultural news, High Tech Farms of Mexico has partnered with Coidra to grow better tomatoes. Not just beefsteak, but Romas. In true crime, wire thieves have struck the Montlake Trails in Seattle, Washington. In local updates, lighting issues continue to delay flights out of Philadelphia International Airport. University of Wisconsin-Madison students are building their own lamps right now. Alberta will stop offering municipal rebates very soon. We have new incentives in Maine. California has cut funds for lighting in active transit programs, which is to say hiking trails and bike lanes. And we have a link to the best tech companies in Minnesota. Detroit is adding 3,000 new streetlights to areas that are underlit. Gary, Indiana is nearing the end of their streetlight projects. Louisville, Kentucky is offering new efficiency programs. We have new solar streetlights in Livermore, Texas. Amtrak is updating the lighting at stations in Camden and Denmark, South Carolina. We have $8 million in funds for Soda Springs, Idaho schools. Amarillo, Texas is redesigning their bus stop lighting. We have the Reunion Tower in Dallas, Texas, switching to LED. Saginaw, Michigan schools are planning light and water upgrades. We have renovations going ahead at Lynchburg, Virginia libraries. We have new lighting going up in the old town of Portsmouth, Virginia. Amoresco has completed energy projects in Carlo, Montana schools. The Sooner Mall in Oklahoma is looking for state funds for rebates. We have new improvements at parks in Bourne, Texas. We have new lighting for baseball fields in Timmins, Ontario. And we have new lighting going ahead in the Reno, Nevada Arch. In world news, Glamux has got a lighting deal for South Korea's biggest wind farm. Egypt is adopting strict energy austerity. The U.S. State Department has admitted that they are manufacturing an energy crisis in Cuba. A Japanese company is going to promise shooting stars on demand, and NATO is in no rush to secure the Strait of Hormuz. In sports reports, Signify is now sponsoring the Rajasthan Royals cricket team, and Moscow has $180,000 in grants for Little League fields. In things that would have been sold on daytime TV 20 years ago, the Sun Booster 2000 definitely not a scam. definitely not a scam. Light therapy device for your skin, and the blue light toothbrush disinfecting your toothbrush, also not a scam. I gotta say, I've been Scott Walker. I want to thank you for your time, your attention, your ratings, your reviews, and otherwise, I will see you next week. Good one.